The plot of a story is what happens from beginning to end. Plot development is how the events unfold. Events of the plot reveal a problem, called a conflict. Everything comes to a head in the climax, the point of greatest interest and emotion. The resolution shows how the problem is solved. Many books also have additional stories called subplots that happen alongside the main plot. As you watch a video based on Victor Hugo's novel, Les Miserables, think about how the plot is developed. Les Miserables is about the tragic life of ex-convict Jean Valjean and his attempt to make up for past mistakes. Jean Valjean is released from a French prison after 19 years, but he cannot find a place to stay. Finally, Bishop M. Myriel allows Valjean to stay at his house.
My name is Jean Valjean. I've done 19 years in the galleys. They let me out 4 days ago. I've been to the inn. They wouldn't have me. Everybody's driven me away because of this. Yellow passport, which I have to show at the mayor's office.
Madam, only an extra place.
Valjean does not repay the favor and instead steals from the bishop and runs. Valjean is caught and arrested by the police, but the bishop tells the police that the items Jean took were gifts.
I'm so delighted you've come back. You forgot to take the candlesticks.
After this, Myriel makes Valjean promise he will become a better man and change his ways. Valjean promises. Valjean changes his name and moves to a new city. He feels he must conceal his identity in order to gain trust from people. Valjean creates a successful new life and eventually becomes mayor of his town. While mayor, Valjean meets a young woman, Fantine, who has been arrested. Valjean befriends the woman and is able to keep Fantine from going to prison. Soon after, Fantine becomes extremely sick. She tells Valjean that she would like to see her daughter, Cosette, so Valjean sends for her. After her mother dies, Cosette is sent to live with a foster family because Valjean is arrested again and sent to prison. After a few months, Valjean escapes from prison, buys Cosette from the foster family, and runs. He takes refuge in a convent, where he gardens and Cosette takes classes. Eventually, Cosette meets a young man, Marius, and they fall in love. Valjean tries to keep the two from being together because he thinks of Cosette as a daughter and doesn't want to lose her. While trying to win Cosette's love, Marius takes part in the French Revolution and becomes gravely injured. Valjean learns of this and immediately goes after Marius, so his adopted daughter will be happy. Valjean finds an unconscious Marius and rescues him just in time. Marius and Cosette are married, but the joyful event is cut short when Valjean admits his past to his daughter and son-in-law. In anger, Marius refuses to allow Cosette to see her father, unaware that it was Valjean that saved him during the revolution.
Do you think that I ought not to see Cosette again?
I think that would be best.
Eventually, Marius learns that Valjean saved his life, and he feels terrible for forbidding Cosette from seeing her father. He and Cosette must go see Valjean quickly, because Valjean has become ill and is not going to live much longer. Bedridden, Valjean sees his daughter one last time, and he gets to make amends with his son-in-law. Valjean dies in peace and with a clean conscience. Now let's take a closer look at plot development in Les Miserables. The main plot of this story follows Valjean. as he attempts to make his life better and leave behind the life of a criminal. He meets many characters through his life, but all of his actions revolve around trying to become a better person. There are many conflicts in this story, but they all relate to the plot. The main conflict in Les Miserables is Valjean's inner conflict, his battle to stay away from a criminal life and be a good person. Another conflict is between Marius and Valjean. Cosette is at the center of this conflict between a father and a husband who are both trying to do what is best for her. A climax in the story occurs when Valjean reveals his past to Cosette and Marius, and they refuse to maintain their relationship with him. It is at this point when the emotional content of the story has reached a peak. The resolution of the story occurs when Valjean sees Cosette one last time before he passes away. The story ends when Valjean is happy. Subplots are secondary stories that happen alongside the main plot. The main plot moves around Valjean trying to become a better man. One subplot revolves around Cosette and Marius falling in love. Events of the plot reveal a problem called a conflict. Everything comes to a head in the climax, the point of greatest interest and emotion. The resolution shows how the problem is solved. Many books also have additional stories called subplots that happen alongside the main plot. Write a few sentences about the plot of one of your favorite books. Explain the conflict, climax, and resolution of the story.